Have you ever bought a plant that you maybe kept in your living room or your bedroom, like a houseplant of sorts? Well, I have a plant. His name is Steve. Correction, I had a plant. As you can see, Steve unfortunately didn't make it, though I had every intention of keeping him alive. I watered him, I gave him sunlight, and I even bought fancy packets of fertilizer to try to revive him back to life. But despite my best attempts, this is where we are now. I was truly trying to live up to my plant mom dreams, and once again, he didn't make it. I'm not here to talk about plants, however. I'm here to talk about something else, something you wouldn't even think to compare to a plant, but you probably should. And as you read from the title slide, I'm here to talk about the brain. Our brain is made up of billions of neural connections between neurons, and when we're born, these connections aren't fully developed yet. You can think of it as a little seedling. It hasn't received any water or sunlight or food yet. However, the first job of the brain is to form these connections, and these pathways are known as neural connections. I know you've heard that term before, but what exactly does it mean? Well, every experience you have, every person you meet, and every word you hear strengthens and creates new neural connections within the brain. These connections are joined together by synapses, those tiny little bridges between neurons. These synapses allow neurons to communicate with each other, sending signals and messages across the brain like little electrical sparks. It's through these synapses that learning happens. Have I lost you yet? These connections don't stay forever. Have you ever crammed for a test all night and forgotten everything the next day? Well, that's your brain basically saying like, cool, we're not using this information anymore. I'm just gonna delete it now. There's a fancy word for this, and it's called synaptic pruning. It's your brain's way of decluttering. Now, I know some of you are thinking, maybe some of the older people in the audience, that I'm just too old to learn this. I just don't have a math brain. Well, correction, that's a lie. There is no such thing as I just don't have a math brain. What you do have is something far more powerful, something called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to change its physical and chemical structure in response to learning a new thing or experiencing something new. So every time you try to struggle through that difficult math problem or try to memorize a new word in Spanish, your brain is physically changing. Dendrites, those tiny little branches extending from neurons, are growing, synapses are strengthening, and neurons are forming new patterns of communication. It's not just a metaphor. Your brain is physically changing. Let me break it down even more. When you're trying to learn something, and I mean really trying, your brain does something called myelination. Think of myelin as a fatty layer of wrapping around the neuron. The more you practice, the thicker this myelin gets, and more myelin equals faster impulses. So basically, when you practice more, your brain gets more faster and efficient at that skill. What I'm trying to say is, practice does make perfect. In the end, what I want you to take away from all of this is that you are in control of wiring your brain, so make sure to take care of it. Water it, challenge it, and give it that hard math problem. Go out in the sun every once in a while, but most of all, let it bloom. Thank you. And full disclosure, I did have a plant. His name was not Steve. I did not name my plant. I promise the plant is real, and I promise what I'm talking about, the brain, is real. So Steve lives on in spirit.